If you're watching this video, I'm sure you're already fully aware of how an iceberg video works. We start at the top and get deeper and darker, exposing the depths of this concept. In this case, I want to take a look at YouTube marketing tactics and how your favorite or least favorite YouTubers market to their audience. We'll start lighthearted and sincere, but as we venture further down the rabbit hole, my goal is to shine light on some of the sinister tactics that have been used to get you to buy courses, pay for products, or just listen to what these people have to say. So without further ado, let's dive in. Tier 1, thumbnails, titles, and ideas. This is pretty self-explanatory, but the concept of the video, and specifically the title and the thumbnail, are what initially get you to watch the video. So let's break this down. What makes a good thumbnail? Thumbnails that do the best are not necessarily the brightest or the ones that have the most color. Instead, the thumbnails that successfully get clicks are the ones that stand out. This can be because of a recognizable face, an absurd depiction of something, scale, or even just facial expressions. It doesn't have to be amazingly high quality. It just needs to stand out and be unique to everything else in some way. Another factor that can increase the click-through rate of a thumbnail that I've noticed is adding things like comments to the thumbnail, an element of social proof. Aside from the idea around the video itself, the most important factor deciding whether or not someone will watch your video is the title. And if you have a good title but a poor thumbnail, you'll probably do better than someone with a bad title but a good thumbnail. So what makes a good title? A good title is one that puts many questions into the viewer's mind, ideally as many as possible. For example, my recent video on Dream is my best performing video in a while. So why did it do better than other videos? For starters, it put two questions into the user's mind. Why did Dream have no choice, and what did he have no choice about? Another technique that's been shown to improve the title is including long random numbers. The obscurity of a number like this is completely different from the conventional sales copy of ending in 5 or 9, which makes the number stand out to the eye. And finally, to finish off tier 1, we have ideas, which is basically just the topic on which the video is about. Think of YouTube like a vacuum, and in this space, creators are competing to come out with new, bigger, and better ideas. But this doesn't just mean scaling up high-budget stunts or outlandish high-risk pranks for more views. It can be as simple as offering a new perspective or packaging an old concept in a new way. For example, what I've tried to do on this channel is create a new niche by mixing random interests of mine together. Think about what YouTube used to be like in 2018. Vlogs, stunts, all gained traction because there were new trends. Soon after, it was followed by podcasting and now rise and fall videos. These are not incredibly new ideas. They were just so different to everything else on the platform that they were interesting as a result. Now, creating new niches that stick is extremely difficult. There's a reason why it's only been successfully done here and there. But it's not impossible, and most often, YouTubers have to go through a period of 2-3 years posting with no views before they find their voice, a blend of their strengths and interests. Tier 2. Pacing, retention, and storytelling. Ever since the explosion of channels like James Janney, the many Mr. Beast clones, or Sunny V2, people have realized that the presentation of your content matters much more than the content itself. With hyper-editing, fast cuts, and high-quality documentary-style videos being some of the most popular on the platform right now. But along with editing, two more powerful concepts that fall in this tier are pacing and storytelling. Pacing can take many different forms, but it's basically the speed at which the video and cuts take place. Most YouTubers that rake in millions of views focus on fast-paced, hyper-cut videos, but some utilize pacing just as effectively in the opposite way. Now, it can be argued whether it is more effective to have your face on screen or off of it, but part of the advantage of putting your face on screen as a YouTuber is the multiple things you can do to retain attention. Retention for faceless YouTube channels would primarily focus on cuts and edits, but for YouTube channels that have a face to the brand, retention can be speeding up or speaking loudly, slowing down or using pauses. It can be strong eye contact, body language, and even hand movements. Lastly, in this tier, we have storytelling, still a rather mild form of getting attention on YouTube that I don't think really needs that much of an explanation. Tier 3. Social hacking and clickbait. Now this is where things will slowly begin to get darker and darker. Social hacking is an effective strategy that revolves around using someone else's brand or image to get viewers to click. Think of someone like Sunny V2 again. All of his videos are focused on other YouTubers, pulling in people who may not know who he is just by the fact that they recognize the person the video is centered around. Another marketing strategy that was quite popular in 2018 was clickbait. Creators would post thumbnails of attractive girls or extreme stunts with titles like Gone Sexual or Gone Wrong, and it worked. People would watch the videos because of the thumbnail, but leave because the video would not match the expectations set by the thumbnail, resulting in people getting unsatisfied and upset, feeling like they just wasted their time. Tier 4. Copycats and controversy. Now we're getting into the good stuff. First off, copying. Now let me explain. There's nothing wrong with getting inspired by someone else's content. And what usually happens is creators start out by copying their favorite YouTubers before they begin to find their own voice. But the problem is when a video is fully copied, or you stream yourself watching someone else's video without giving proper credit. There are many YouTubers who have outright copied other people's thumbnails that were proven to work. The other strategy in this tier is beef and controversy, and specifically fabricating beef. Think of the strategy Logan and Jake Paul used when they first began getting big on YouTube. They started making music videos and then attacking each other back and forth with diss tracks, using the perceived slight between the two to create an ever-growing viewer cycle. Jake's audience would watch his videos and then quickly go to Logan's videos to see his response, both sending their audiences to each other's respective channels. Think back to the H3H3 beef with Drama Alert. I'm not necessarily a fan of either, but I watched both of their beef videos attacking each other because it pulled me in. Even though this was not a fabricated drama, it still worked. Controversy is a very effective tactic to get attention, either on YouTube, in politics, or as a marketing strategy. But it's a thin line that needs to be walked very carefully. And oftentimes, when some type of controversy does come out, there's usually one side that doesn't really recover, or at the very least, reach the heights they were once at. Tier 5. Sensationalism, polarization, tribalism, and cults. The evolution of YouTube has been tremendous over the last 15 years. And because YouTube is a social media platform, the product is you, and specifically your attention. The longer you stay on the platform, the more ads you will be exposed to, the more YouTube makes. What started out as a place to see goofy home videos has quickly evolved into a certified TV-like platform, where people go to do things like learn, catch up on the news, or be entertained. And as the platform grew, it became harder and harder for new creators to find their voice. The direct result was people posting more and more outlandish content. Why? Because that is what drove clicks. And this just escalated further when TikTok and soon after Shorts became a thing. In this hyper-competitive platform, new creators had to find a way to stand out. And because the incentive was pushed towards being bigger or better or doing even more outlandish things, polarization became an effective strategy. But this is not really anything new. The news capitalizes on this exact method, showing snippets of things out of context to inspire an emotional outburst, only reporting on the most deadly shootings or the most terrible things around the world, the things that get you to watch. YouTube has followed this same trend, and as a result, people like Andrew Tate were able to get the most clicks, purposefully capitalizing on polarization to drive as many people to their respective channels as possible. But polarization was just the beginning. Once it became an effective strategy, some YouTubers capitalized on this by using a tribe mentality. Us versus them, women versus men, right versus left. In essence, we are the good guys and they are the bad guys. A terribly effective strategy that I think is truly evil. Aside from the fact that the bloodiest period in human history was when we were the most tribal, in the modern age, it causes people to become 100% closed-minded and avoid having conversations with people who may have differing opinions than them. And if tribalism is taken far enough, it can lead to the creation of cults. People who will do or say anything for the tribe or cult leader they have chosen. It's interesting to think about because in Jungian psychology, there's this perspective that people don't have ideas, ideas have people. In a cult, people get so embodied by the ideas of those they've chosen to follow that they almost philosophically embody them, believing this chosen entity, individual, or whatever it may be, can do no wrong. But as crazy as that sounds, polarization, tribalism, and cult formations are not even the most evil marketing strategy out there. Tier 6. Conditioning. A while ago, around the time Dan Lok and other business gurus began to get popular on YouTube, they used methods like this to get money from their followers. Now, while it is similar to a cult, and you need to be conditioned in order to join a cult, I haven't seen any extremist cults on YouTube yet. And that's why I believe this version of conditioning is an even more sinister tactic. These individuals prey on people's insecurities to get them to buy fake courses or lectures that don't provide any value so that they can get money. Now, don't get me wrong. There are definitely a lot of valuable courses online you can buy that offer real value and information to solve the problem you're trying to solve. But in its initial stages, online courses were more of a multi-level marketing scheme that were sold to a conditioned audience through a persuasive context. Let's break down how this model works. It starts with one of the 4 eternal markets, hitting pain points by specifically stating the problem these gurus can help you solve. These 4 markets are wealth, health, freedom, and happiness. The business gurus would condition their audience using their content by pushing a fear. It starts with some of the methods we've already discussed. a catchy thumbnail, a title, and a promise. A promise to help aid you in the pursuit of one of these 4 markets, which usually in get-rich-quick schemes is the pursuit of wealth. Packaging the solution to this pain point once hit on enough in a way that makes generating wealth look easy. Next, they would apply standard marketing techniques to further influence their audience. Scarcity or social proof is a good example of this, paired with the inclusion of some type of struggle, a story they have about how they used to be just like you, and through hard work and their knowledge, they were able to become rich. Vulnerability is the key. This is what business gurus were looking for to prey on. The stress you feel from a lack of money, the stress you feel from working a job you hate, the young people who are naive, lack experience, and are stressed, trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Fundamentally, it is vulnerability. Vulnerability that stems from uncertainty, which is the trigger that allows these gurus to begin their conditioning. Anyway, that's it. That's the YouTube Marketing Iceberg. Thanks for watching. I hope it was entertaining and at least a little bit informative. If you guys have any ideas on videos or people or topics you'd like me to make marketing breakdowns on next, please let me know. Thanks.